Hello and welcome to SoBricks. I'm Adam and this is SoBricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the brand new Lego Star Wars Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter Microfighter set. This is set number 75400. It has 89 pieces and I paid $15 for this set. So this set officially comes out on June 1st, 2025. I was able to get this a couple days early, not for any special reason. It's just occasionally you can find Lego sets on stores early, and sometimes when I see them, I buy them. I'm not affiliated with any company. I don't get sent stuff for free. I buy everything with my own money. It's just sometimes stores near me have them out early and break street date. Sometimes Lego has like specific deals with other retailers that they can put stuff out a little bit early, but I'm not sure what the case is for this one. Either way, though, I am excited to take a look at this. It's been a little while. I think the last Microfighter was the one with Captain Rex, and that one was not $15, was it? Maybe it was, or maybe it was even more than that. No, $13 for that one. Okay, so that one was $13. This has fewer pieces. It's got a minifigure. It's got a character that hasn't been in Lego too many times. So I think it's sort of neat for that. Certainly I don't have any of Plo Koon's previous iterations, but I'm excited to see what they look like in this, and so we will get into it. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Star Wars Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter Microfighter set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, you can do that here on YouTube with membership, supers, and thanks. There's a Patreon, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link, all of that good stuff. And this comes together pretty quick. It's only 89 pieces, so now on to my review for this set. Thank you. Okay, so that is the Lego Star Wars Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter Microfighter set. This is pretty good. I think it I have some thoughts that I'll share kind of closer to the end, but we will get right into this. And the first thing we will look at is the minifigure, because we do get one. And like I said at the beginning, it is a somewhat unique minifigure. This is a new head mold at the very least, which is very cool to see. They are a Jedi. They do have a blue Jedi lightsaber there. And this is Plo Koon. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. There have been versions of Plo Koon, I think in the 2008 to 2014. I think they were only in 3 sets. There's one with like the dark tan undershirt, and then one without that. The basic one without the dark tan undershirt is maybe $13, $14 up on Bricklink, and the one with the dark tan undershirt seems to be like $30 or plus. So this one is similar in a lot of ways. I don't know if the print is actually much. Oh yeah, the print is different as well. So the head is different. So the prints are different, heads are different, and actually the legs are new as well for this figure. I don't believe this figure is in any other sets besides this Microfighter right now, so that's kind of interesting. I'm assuming if they made it for more than just this, and they'll have it in some other sets, but I'm not super up to date on what's going on in the Star Wars universe, so I don't know if they are in a show or in something right now that they are more popular. But headpiece, really interesting, new headpiece here. It's wider than the original one, so it's a new mold. It's got some nice kind of molded in details on the side. We have kind of the overhang fang mouth mask thing there. This is dual molded. It's a little bit difficult to tell, but if you look down in there, you can kind of see where this is molded plastic, as is, I believe, the kind of metallic gray in the eyes there. So that is pretty cool. Lots of texture on this, good amount of detail. Of course, no alternate alternate face, no hair piece or anything like that, but that's okay. Torso is pretty good. It's, you know, Jedi robes. The kind of belt or area around the waistband is not printed on the midsection. It's actually on the bottom half of the torso. We do get some other kind of just slight details, creases in the fabric for the robe. And then we have printing for the legs all the way down, down into the middle. And this is pretty good because that lighter color there looks good. It doesn't look like it's getting a ton of bleed through there. So the opacity on that is really nice. And then, yeah, we just have kind of the robes flowing down there as well. So that is the figure. Back of the torso, pretty basic, but it is good. This is a nice figure. I don't know if it's as exciting as like Captain Rex. I think, you know, Rex was different because they were only in a UCS set maybe. And so that made them really balloon in price, and then when they put them in a microfighter, it sort of crashed that market. Whatever you think about that, I'm not going to necessarily like weigh in on what my thoughts are about that, but this is an instance where there is a couple versions from maybe over a decade ago, and now we're getting a new one in 2025, so that's great. There's not another minifigure, but we do get a droid head here, and let me just pop this off so we can take a look at the production of this. And this is an R7D4 head here. Production work looks wonky, a little bit wonky, and I don't know if it'll be able to see. If we look just down at the top, the distance from like the stud to where these sections are on this side where I'm pointing, it is greater than over on this side. If we look down at the front, we can kind of see that this line that kind of completes that circle is slanting slightly upward on the left side of this, whereas the right side, it stays flatter for a while before slanting upward. And then over on like the back side, the print line is a greater distance from kind of the crease on this side than it is over on this side. So not perfectly centered, not perfectly applied, a little bit of waviness in there, and just overall not like amazing print quality. If we look, for example, like right here, the gap, there's like the cutout where the plate is, and the gap between the line and there is really quite small. Over here, it's a little bit bigger. Over here, it's maybe bigger still. And then here, it's kind of the same as the opposite there. So that distance there between the print line and the actual like edge, I think that's like the easiest way to see that. So production work on that could be better. As I understand it, other regions don't have this issue. And this is an issue that's been around in the US for a while. At least I've been noticing it for a while, is that these droid heads come printed out a little bit funny. And then the rest of this is the Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter here. And this is interesting. The Lego website says that this is the first ever Lego Star Wars Microfighter recreation of a Jedi Starfighter. So there's been a whole, I'm actually surprised by that, because there's been so many microfighters throughout the years, but apparently this is the first one that's like officially a Jedi Starfighter. So apparently, that to me, that means there hasn't been like an Obi-Wan's or a Yoda's Starfighter or whatever in microfighter form. This is similar in a lot of ways, like stylistically. I don't know if it's the same like class of ship. I want to say that it is. Not all Jedi Starfighters are the exact same, but like this one and actually the Jedi Bob Starfighter and the like Obi-Wan Starfighter are pretty similar in shape and style. So we have kind of this bigger sort of triangular pie slice looking thing. When we build this, we start with the bottom. It's like a 2x2 down there. It's pretty much symmetrical throughout. There is a clip over here, however, just on one side, which can be used to store the lightsaber, which I always appreciate. It sticks out a little bit here. Not a super big deal. But I think that is always good, so we can have them in the cockpit without having it sort of in their hands, but we still keep it within the set. A couple like ratchet hinge pieces used on the base. For most of this, it's pretty straightforward. Studs on top for almost all of it. The wings are situated on a little bit of an angle. We can accentuate that a little more. We can bring it down to flat. I think sort of here it looks okay. I kind of like it just kind of one click. Makes the gap in here a little bit less visible, but I think there's not a ton. We can get this almost all the way down. We don't want to like pinch the lightsaber in there too much, and then we do have some of the construction underneath the wing subassemblies will prevent it from going like all the way 90 degrees, but we can fold this down a good amount of distance. So actually the main kind of body of this, super straightforward, studs on top, not a big deal. No stickers in this set, which is great. We do have the color scheme here is good, kind of that darker blue, navy blue, and white, a little bit of spot of yellow there. And then the sub-assemblies for the wings are the same except mirrored. It's all brick built kind of detail here to get these sort of color blocking. We do have stud shooters or tile shooters on the side, so we get those. These have the are these clear or are these like very light blue translucent? I want to say they're like the light blue translucent, but I could be wrong. So we have those in there. I have one in each of these, and then you get 2 extras plus another extra one. So that's all fine. And then, building up the tail, super easy. I actually really liked how they did kind of the thrusters at the back, because they ended up using a couple more of the lightsaber blades there. We use these kind of like wheel rim piece, a Technic half pin with the open stud, add on a translucent light blue cone, and then we use the same color lightsaber element, the bar element, to kind of go through there, and you can see a little bit of it sticking out, but I think that's a nice choice. Instead of using a different color bar element, it's always nice to get like a couple more of those. And in this case, they were already including one for this, so rather than include 2 bar elements of a different color, and it makes sense for them to just add 2 more of these lightsabers, which is pretty cool, and I think it like looks good and works well for the thrusters back here. So that is really nice. We do have a spot for Plo to sit, only 2 studs to stud them down, which is appreciated. They look pretty good in there. We kind of get this suggestion of a windscreen cockpit area, and I like when there's only 2 studs. It makes it really easy to take them out and put them in, instead of having like 4 studs that the clutch power on the bottom of the legs can sometimes make it a little bit challenging. For this one, because it's sticking a good amount of ways up, I don't necessarily imagine it being a problem, but that's just something to consider. In terms of like other gaps or anything, we can kind of see there's some gapping right around there, just because where you can kind of see when I put the character in there, that fills in some of these gaps, because this kind of angled piece here attaches to these curved plates, and those are kind of overhanging where the wings would be, so those don't have a stud underneath them. They're connected kind of at the back there, so there's a little bit of gapping, not a big deal. This is really solidly built, super swooshable. fun little toy, decent size, comparing this to other Starfighters, the N1 Starfighter or the recent Y-Wing Microfighter that came with Captain Rex. I think this one's pretty similar. The Captain Rex one actually had more pieces than this. I don't know if that's solely, it's like 10 pieces difference. And I'm not 100% sure why. I don't still have that near me to compare them size-wise, but this feels appropriate for a microfighter in my eyes, so happy to see that. Overall, nice little set, small and fun, and I like the microfighters. I don't know if they're going to do a play scale version of Plo Koon's Starfighter. They did one in like 2008. I think that's the only time they've done it, and then this character has also been in that was 2010, and then this character's also been in a Republic Attack Gunship set, and they've also been in like a anti air, what set was that? It was the Republic AV7 anti-vehicle cannon set from 2014. So they were also in that set, which is kind of an interesting set. But either way, cool to get them in this one again, and we'll see what they do with this character or how common it will be. Maybe it'll be just exclusive to this. I don't pretend to know, but that's that. I'll show the extra pieces. We do get some there. Extra hilt, extra of the projectile tile for the stud shooters there, extra trigger mechanism, your 1x1s, your studs, your tiles, your pins, different stuff like that. And this set is 89 pieces, one minifigure, and it retails for $15. I am not happy about that. I frankly didn't really like that the Captain Rex Y-Wing went up to $13, and then I think, was there one that was like the N1 Mandalorian and Grogu, and maybe that one was 15 as well, and that came out before the Captain Rex Y-Wing. That could be the case. I don't remember if that one was more. For some reason I have it in my head that there was a microfighter that was $17 or something like that, but I don't believe that. Oh, okay, that the N1 was 16. Okay. Interesting. I think I got that one on sale. It is retiring soon. That one actually had fewer pieces than this one, because it came with Grogu and the Mandalorian, whatever. Maybe that's what made it more valuable. So I don't know how consistent they are trying to be, or what the real factors are in how LEGO prices this. I imagine it has something to do with the minifigures, exclusivity, new molds, new prints, stuff like that. But the rest of this is pretty common stuff, pretty common pieces, all things considered. So not a huge thing. I think, look, I wasn't thrilled about the N1 being up at 16. I thought the Captain Rex Y-Wing being 13 was better than 16. 13's not bad. $10 is kind of where I want these to be at. I know 10 cents per piece. We're hovering around 80, 90, 100 pieces, plus a minifigure, which maybe they value minifigures at $10 or not $10, but $5 or something like that. I tend to put them a little bit lower. I think these sets would be terrific at $10 in 2025. I really wish they were. I think the $10 price point is an important price point to hit. Same is the $15, but and this one does fall in there. But it's interesting because comparing this to some other sets, including a battle pack that releases alongside of this, that is going to be at the like $23 price, and a mech, which is like the smaller mech, one minifigure mech, which is the Darth Maul one. I believe that one is going up to $18. I like those mechs. I've looked at, I think, all of these Star Wars mechs, many of the Marvel mechs that are in that kind of the the smaller size, which I think the Marvel ones were like $15. The Star Wars ones were $16. I thought that was a big problem, and that seems to be continuing, except now the Darth Maul one is like $17 or $18 for one of those small microfighters. And I don't know if they've really like, I don't feel great about that. So if the mech is not at the $15 price point, and if the battle packs are not at the $20 price point, for roughly 100 pieces with maybe 4 minifigures, maybe they're new prints for the helmets and different stuff, that's all well and dandy. But all of these things are kind of shifting up, and then things that like were at a certain price point, which I think are in like important to have and keep consistent. I like sort of at the lower end of stuff breaking at the sort of, you know, $10, $15, $20 increments, and then, you know, if it's 23, if it's 25, if it's 27, it maybe feels a little bit different. I think there's room for $12 sets, $13 sets, all of that good stuff. But considering that like microfighters maybe used to be $10, and the mechs used to be like $15. Now this is $15 and the mechs are $18. Battle packs used to be, well, way back in the day, maybe they were 10, maybe they were 15, then they were 20. They have had ones that have been up to like 30 or more, but they had like more stuff going on in them. But for like the standard 4 minifigures and a build, either a small vehicle or some landscape or some other thing that is built, a lot of times those were in that $20 range, especially in the last couple years. Now the newest one bumps it up a couple more dollars, and it ends up being, you know, at least for that one, like a 10% increase in price, and I don't know if it's necessarily warranted. This is $15. Great to get a figure that hasn't been in Lego too many times. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to be happy about that. I think the production on the figure is good. The production on the droid head, not great. Value for this set, you know, it's fine. If this is $10 and this is $5, there we go. But I'm not as enthusiastic or like as, I don't know, like bullish on saying that this is $10 worth of plastic or Lego here. This could easily be $7, $5, whatever. And if they want to price a minifigure at $5 or $4 or whatever it is, I think there's profit to be made, frankly, at this being a $10 set in 2025 based on the licensing and the raw materials and the production and the packaging and the this and the that and the other thing and the new molds, all that stuff. I don't have a ton of evidence for this because I don't know their like margins, but I have a feeling that the Lego group could sell this set for $10 and still make a good amount of profit, but maybe not as much as they make with $15, you know, and that is just the way it is. So I'm not like exactly thrilled about it. This is cheaper than the N1, slightly more than the Y-Wing, and maybe this is where microfighters are gonna kind of live for a little while. I do think it's crazy that like, oh boy, getting sets on sale isn't necessarily fair to compare against like MSRP, but like I was getting some really good speed champions for like $15 when they were, $20 retail, and then you get 20 or 25% off or anything like that. Getting down to, and that's like so much better than this. Well, it's just more stuff. I don't know if it's necessarily better, but it's like more, which feels a lot better. And then same with some of the battle packs that were like $20 battle packs could be pretty reliably found for 20% off, knocking them down to $16 or stuff like that. So the one that's like 22 or 23, if that ever goes on sale, we're looking at, if it's 20% off, we're looking at knocking $4.60 off or something like that. And then we're back under the $20 mark. So, but we're probably still in the $17, $18 mark. I don't know. We'll see what happens. If you really want this figure, and the build is incidental. Maybe this is the best way to get it. Or once these officially are out, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of this figure on the market, which is always good for people that just want to collect the figures. I really wanted to see what this had to offer. I'm curious to know where LEGO goes with this character and the Microfighters line. Not thrilled about the price, but that is that. This set officially comes out on June 1st. I was just able to get it early, so this video will hopefully come out before then, and I think that's it. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more LEGO Star Wars, more Microfighters, tons of other sets, all different shape, size, price point, piece count, sets from all different themes, sub-themes, all of that good stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming LEGO videos. And then if you wanted to support the channel in a different way, you can give money to the channel if you would like. There's membership supers and thanks on YouTube. There's a Patreon. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link. There'll be some affiliate links in the description as well. If you have ideas for like different perks and different things I could offer that would maybe make you consider being a member or something, please leave it in the comments below, a suggestion. I would love to know, because I'm still kind of trying to figure out what the best way for that is. Of course, nobody needs to spend money on the channel, but if you enjoy watching me talk about LEGO or anything like that, and you want to give back, there are ways to do that, and it helps a lot. Every little bit adds up. So thank you very much. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.